Unfortunately, you got dumped. And your ex also, unfortunately, has a fearful avoidant attachment style. Now, while that is better than a dismissive avoidant attachment style, in terms of your being able to have a successful relationship, there are still a lot of challenges. But a fearful avoidant is very unlikely to come right out and say, oh my God, I totally screwed up by dumping you. Will you please take me back? They're not going to do that, at least not for several months after the breakup. But instead, you might see one or more of the following 7 signs that your fearful avoidant ex misses the connection that they had with you. And that could lead them back to you if you play your cards right. So let's talk about it. Now, you need to be in no contact. You absolutely should have started that the moment they broke up with you. If you haven't started no contact, start that today. You see, fearful avoidance, like dismissive avoidance, got hurt at a young age, probably by mom or dad or whoever their primary caretakers were. And they learned that the best way to keep their heart safe is to keep everyone at arm's length. They think if they never let anybody in too close, they'll never get emotionally hurt, right? The problem, of course, is that they also crave deep love and emotional connection. They just don't know how to rectify those two things. But unlike the dismissive avoidant, when the primary partner of a fearful avoidant pulls away, which is exactly what happens when you go into no contact, they switch to more of an anxious attachment style. And then they're going to fight to pull you back in again. But as I mentioned earlier, they're not likely to come out directly and say that. So way number 1 is they post contradictory content on their social media about relationships. Now, you may not still be directly connected to them on social media, but as long as they haven't blocked you and you haven't blocked them, you can still see their social and they can see yours. And what you'll notice is a stark difference. One moment they're posting content about how great it feels to be alone or single and have their freedom back. And then the next minute, they're posting lonely, sad, or melancholy content, songs, memes, or quotes. And their posts alternate between the celebratory mode and the sad, lonely mode. Maybe they're talking one moment about how they really desperately want to be understood by somebody, and then the next moment they're posting about how they don't need anybody. And this emotional whiplash really underscores the internal battle of wanting you one moment and fearing the vulnerability in the next moment. Way number 2, they keep emotional mementos publicly visible. You may have noticed on their social media, especially something like Facebook, that maybe they haven't deleted photos of the two of you together, or maybe even just photos of you. Or if they're not being that overt, maybe there are still a lot of photos of places that the two of you went together, pieces of jewelry that you gave them, or other artifacts that totally symbolize you and the relationship. You might also notice them posting songs or quotes that were meaningful to the two of you, or maybe things that you introduced them to. And they're preserving this digital evidence of your relationship rather than completely removing it. And let's be honest, if they were really looking for the next great love of their life and totally over you, there would not be traces of you still remaining on their social media. And this preservation just really signifies that they can't bring themselves yet to remove all traces of you and the relationship. Way number 3, they cycle through short-term relationships. Now, of course, I know you want them back, and I know you hate the idea of them dating somebody else. But avoidants, whether we're talking fearful or dismissive, are almost always going to jump into a rebound relationship, sometimes within days of breaking up with you. It's inevitable, but rebounds also have about a 75% failure rate. But they're not diving into a deep connection with just one person. You might notice them going through a series of quick flings. And it's kind of like they're searching for something in each of these relationships. But guess what? They're not going to find it, because what they're searching for is really probably you. Remember, avoidants don't want to feel what they're feeling, and that includes the pain and the hurt and the grief of losing you and losing the relationship. And yes, it was their choice to dump you, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was an easy choice and that there weren't a lot of great things about the relationship that your fearful avoidant ex loved. But rather than deal with the reality of their decision and face the pain and confront the hurt, it's much easier in their eyes to just jump into a new relationship with somebody else and kind of pretend like the breakup never happened and pretend like their relationship with you never happened. And you might even notice if they're posting this on social, or if you're seeing them out and about, you might notice them trying to recreate things with this new person or new people that they used to do with you. So go into favorite places like coffee shops, restaurants, bars, or nightclubs, going to special places together. and engaging in the same shared memories that they once shared with you. It's kind of like they're just trying to put this new person in your shoes and almost pretend it's you. But if they're going through a series of people in rapid fire, what it really tells you is that they're searching for some quality in these people and they're not finding it. And guess what? It's because what they're searching for are the best parts of their relationship with you. Real quick, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and then destroy that subscribe button too. It's a great way to say thank you to me, helps me grow my channel, and I really appreciate it. Way number 4, they're posting on social emotional themes that directly relate to your relationship. Maybe they're sharing content about attachment issues or fear of abandonment. Or maybe they're posting about emotional safety and feeling misunderstood by the world. But maybe on a more positive note, you might see them posting about concepts or insights or even places or things that you introduced them to. And maybe they didn't seem that interested before when you were actually in a relationship, but it seems like they're taking root now. And these themes just kind of showcase that they're now processing at this late a date the specific kind of connection that you provided for them that they're now missing. Way number 5, they're engaging in self-sabotaging behaviors they didn't engage with when they were with you. And this one is really common, especially with avoidants. They may do a deep dive into really unhealthy habits, drugs and alcohol, or promiscuous sex. And they're doing things they know you would disapprove of, but they're diving in head first now that they're not under your thumb. Maybe they're even posting on social about these poor choices and unhealthy coping mechanisms. And it's almost like they're testing the waters to see if anybody out there cares enough to try and intervene. You see, avoidants are very emotionally unstable, and often initially they are drawn to people who are very grounded and emotionally stable. But over time, as the relationship gets more real, they begin to feel kind of stifled by that, or maybe even see you as needy, clingy, smothering, or controlling. But if you're seeing this kind of regression, it suggests that they really miss the grounding that you gave them and the fact that somebody cared enough to kind of rein in their more impulsive, destructive behaviors. And even if you weren't actually that controlling, if they knew you would disapprove of something, they may have just never done it in the first place without you having to say anything. But now without you there, all bets are off. Real quick, I have a free PDF guide called The 7 Psychological Triggers That Make an Ex Regret Losing You. And you can get it for free with the link in my bio or clicking this link right up here. Way number 6, they're showing up regularly now at places where they think it's likely that you might be hanging out. Now, initially, after dumping you, they may have been avoiding places where they thought you might be. But now you've either noticed or heard from mutual friends that they're showing up regularly. Remember, they know your habits. They know the places you like to go to. They know the places you introduce them to and the places that the two of you used to go together. So they're now regularly going to these places on the days and times where they think it's most likely you might be there. And if you're getting invited to mutual gatherings with friends and you're getting an invite and so are they, they're absolutely showing up to those. Now, when they see you, they're wanting to gauge your reaction. So it's crucial if you want them back that you don't lose your shit. Stay calm, stay centered. Don't be unfriendly, but don't show any greater level of enthusiasm for them than they're showing for you. If they smile and wave, it's okay to do that in return, but absolutely do not go over to them and start talking to them. If they want to talk to you, make them come to you. They did the dumping. They have to be the one to extend the olive branch. And way number 7, they send emotional check-ins disguised as casual messages. Now, up until now, you've hopefully been in no contact and they haven't reached out in any direct way. But now you might begin to notice tiny little bits of communication. Maybe they're reaching out when they're feeling especially emotionally vulnerable or triggered. And that's often late at night and maybe when they're under the influence of drugs or alcohol, because then their inhibitions are lower and they're more able to feel the hurt and the pain and the uneasiness going on inside of them that they normally kind of bury and mask. Maybe they're sending messages about their emotional health and how difficult life is. And maybe they're even sharing personal struggles that they're not really sharing with other people. And this, of course, is unusual for avoidants because they don't usually want to be vulnerable with somebody else because they learned that's a good way to get hurt. But now they're at rock bottom here, and you're one of the few people that they actually trust. And this kind of communication is huge because it means they still see you as a safe person for emotional support. But I still want you to remain vigilant in your no contact until they reach out to you directly and indicate that they want to see you. But don't ignore messages that come through that are kind of vague or wishy-washy or open-ended. Send back as few words as possible without actually ignoring them. And again, as with seeing them in person somewhere, match their level of enthusiasm. If they send you 5 words, don't send back a novel. Never double or triple text. And if you send something back to them and it takes them 3 hours to reply to you, don't respond the instant you get their message. Wait about the same amount of time. It's not about manipulation here. It's about not seeming needy. And that is one of the things that avoidants fear the most in their partners, is that needy, clingy behavior, because it means losing their independence in their eyes. So you can't come across that way whatsoever. But some of these messages you're getting from them might warrant you saying something like, hey, it's great to hear from you. Do you want to come over? I'd love to talk to you about this in person. Or invite them over for dinner. Or if you don't think drugs and alcohol are becoming an issue for them, say, hey, I've got a great bottle of wine we could share and we could catch up. And see what they say to that. If they say, okay, I'll head over right now, then you know they want to see you. You know they're willing to make an effort to see you right now. But if they're vague, open-ended, wishy-washy, got to check their schedule, don't know, are non-committal, you know exactly where you stand. You know they were just kind of fishing for attention and validation and not really serious yet about actually getting together. In that case, go right back into full-fledged no contact and wait for them to reach out and indicate that they want to see you. Then make a date with them in the evening, ideally at your place, and make it happen. Remember, I do offer one-on-one coaching. That can be in the form of a phone call, a Zoom session, or you can simply email me your problem and I'll record a custom video for you just like this one and get it back to you within a few weekdays. If you want more info on that, it's down in the description or on this card right up here.